The dark side of life in Japan, anime, manga, film, and television, have given us a sense of Japan as a beautiful, exotic land of cherry blossoms with unique cultural identities. However, when night falls, people return to their true nature, and Japan transforms into something different as the city lights up. It's not just scantily clad girls offering their services, but also an entire decadent world, with hidden, terrifying corners. Are you ready to explore the nightlife of this country? Let's dive right in. Number 15, the red light district at night, nicknamed the city that never sleeps. Kabukicho thrives at night, becoming an attractive playground with pole dancing performances and brightly colored lights at nightclubs. These are exactly the kinds of activities that define Japan's thriving entertainment industry. Interestingly, if during the day, Kabukicho looks peaceful and serene like many other neighborhoods at night, it's shrouded in the flashing lights of advertisements everywhere on its narrow streets bustling with tourists. You can spot people dressed in bizarre costumes holding advertising boards in front of nightclubs, girls with blue eyes, red lips, and high heels in ultra-short dresses or flimsy nightwear stand, distributing flyers with appealing offers. Additionally, visitors can sing karaoke in bars where seductive hostesses entertain or hire dolls or visit disguised massage parlor. You can also enjoy the company of young women in schoolgirl outfits, or watch naked girls swimming behind glass at large venues, captivating all eyes in Kabukicho. Most brothels operate legally. Many places close at midnight, but there are also clubs open until early morning. The late-night spots are often protected by the Yakuza, so only the well-connected should dare visit. In reality, Kabukicho is not safe. Therefore, be cautious if you plan to visit, even in a country as safe as Japan. Red light districts are a special zone governed by another kind of power, while still complying with the law. Japan's red light districts have their own set of rules. If you don't understand these unwritten rules, you could find yourself in trouble. Be particularly careful of being overcharged for entry, if you don't ask in advance, or running into Japanese mafia bounces at clubs. It's also not advisable to visit Kabukicho shops that stay open all night, as they are typically protected by the mafia. Unlike Thailand, China, or some other countries where the overnight services are more openly integrated into the tourism industry, Japan has clear regulations and their services do not target tourists. So if you want to experience this sleepless town, make sure you understand the rules. Number 14. Geisha, not call girl Geisha. One of Japan's unique cultural symbols, have been around since the 17th century. Contrary to popular belief, geisha are not prostitutes but actual artists. They possess refined performance skills, from singing, dancing, and playing the shamus, into having charming conversations, creating an elegant and sophisticated image. Geishas were multi-layered traditional kimono which not only showcase luxury, but also create a sense of physical inaccessibility completely different from prostitutes of the time. However, the decline of the geisha society wasn't due to being outdated. After World War II, the Japanese government banned child labor in geisha houses, and with economic growth, families no longer had to sell their children to pay off debts. This caused a sharp drop in the number of geishas from 880,000 in the 1920s to around 1,000. Today concentrated mainly in Kyoto and Tu. Although gas have lost their appeal, Japan's life remains lively with the rise of modern geisha. Male and female hosts at bars and nightclubs, these venues are not just for drinking. Customers can be pampered and receive special attention. Here, attention and care are the most valuable commodities in female hostess bars. The women chat, pour drinks, and sometimes flirt to create a fun and relaxed atmosphere. Interestingly, Japanese men often consider this time as an extension of work. They come to discuss business deals, contracts, and strengthen relationships. Conversely, in male host clubs, the clientele is mainly women who come to experience romance and receive compliments from charming, elegant men. This job can provide a substantial income. Hosts are paid based on the number of customers they serve and how much the clients spend at the club. If successful, they can earn millions of yen each year. One of the most famous names in the male host world in Japan is Roland, king of male hosts. With his attractive looks and top-notch communication skills, Roland earns over 2.8 million annually. From his work on one birthday, He convinced customers to spend up to 10 million yen in just 3 hours. How did he do it? Simple. Roland is a master of charm and always knows how to create emotional connections with his clients, but Roland didn't stop at being a host. He also owns a business empire including a museum, beauty salons, beauty lounges, beauty product lines, an art gallery, an entertainment company, and a restaurant. Who says being a host is just a temporary job? Number 13. The dark side of host clubs. Host clubs are not just places to seek companionship, they can sometimes bring about trouble. The case of Phoenix Luna, a young male host in Shinjuku, serves as an example. His girlfriend, Yuka Takako, who was initially one of his loyal customers, attacked Luna just 3 days after they decided to live together. He came home late and had been photographed with other women. When the police asked for an explanation, Takako responded, "I loved him too much." Luna was lucky to survive, while Takako is now serving a 3.5-year prison sentence. This is just one of many cases revealing the darker side of relationships between hosts and their clients. Not only male hosts but female hostesses also face danger. The story of Lucy Blackman, a British citizen who came to Japan to work as a hostess, shocked the world. In 2000. She went missing and was later found murdered by one of her clients. This incident sparked much debate about the safety of those working in Japan's nightlife industry. Sometimes, it's not just the service providers who get into trouble. Some female customers can become so attached to their favorite host that they are willing to do anything to help them become the number one at the club. For example, Toiba, a male host in Tokyo, forced one of his female clients to work in a brothel. To pay off her unpaid bills totaling 10 million yen. Number 12. Rent-a-family services. If you think Japan's end life revolves only around bars, clubs, or wild karaoke parties, you're entirely wrong. In Japan, loneliness never goes untreated, with services like renting a boyfriend or girlfriend emerging as a magical solution. This fully legal service is growing in Japan, and the prices are quite reasonable. Did you know that according to a recent statistic, over 30% of adults in Japan find it difficult to connect with others due to work pressure and a busy life? As a result, the rent-a-boyfriend or rent-a-girlfriend service was born and quickly became a social phenomenon. The price to rent a dream companion is around 6,000 yen per hour, about $50, with a minimum rental time of 2 hours. It may sound like a marketing gimmick, but this is one of Japan's most thriving industries in 2020. This industry generated nearly 10 billion yen in revenue. Imagine, for this price, you can rent a boyfriend or girlfriend to chat with, stroll around with, or simply sit and enjoy a cup of tea at a romantic cafe. But don't think of it as an adult service. Most people simply rent someone to talk to, walk around with, or just have someone by their side. The essence of this service is to provide comfort, connection, and a little sense of having someone. You'd be surprised to learn that many customers aren't lonely, single youngsters among the clients. Many are married people who feel a lack of connection or attention in their relationships. Not only limited to renting boyfriends or girlfriends, but the service also expands to renting friends, older brothers, older sisters, or even family members. Imagine being able to rent want to play the role of your brother at a wedding, or a best friend to join you at social events. Some even rent an entire fake family, from a wife-husband to a beloved child. Family romance. One of the leading companies providing this service allows clients to choose the age, appearance, and even personality of family members. Yes, you heard that right. You can choose a wife who is always cheerful, ready to listen to your daily stories, or a child who is adorable and obedient. The price for each family reunion like this is about 40,000 yen, around $370. Number 11. Harassment of women in public. According to the World Economic Forum, Japan ranked 116th out of 146 countries in the 2022 Gender Gap Index in Japan. The traditional notion of male dominance is still prevalent and hard to eradicate. The country still holds the view that men work, while women stay home to take care of the household and children. Many Japanese women are forced to give up their jobs or miss out on career advancement opportunities. If they have children in the workplace, women are often disadvantaged, receiving lower wages than men regardless of their productivity. Moreover, harassment of women remains a widespread issue in Japan, particularly on public transportation. In recent years, several measures have been implemented to prevent Chan perpetrators of sexual harassment. For example, trains now offer women-only cars during certain peak hours in the morning and evening. Additionally, phones in Japan are programmed to emit a sound when taking pictures, even in silent mode, alerting those around that someone might be engaging in chicken behavior. However, these harassers continue to act because of the indifference of bystanders, and many Japanese women are reluctant to admit they have been victims. Ashley shared that her mother had been a victim of harassment while on a train in Tokyo. What puzzled her mother the most was that the crowd tried to distance themselves when she caught the Chan in the ACT. People turned their faces away and avoided the situation, reflecting a culture in Japan of not interfering in others' affairs and maintaining silence. This has allowed the issue of Chan to persist daily with many, even considering it normal. Number 10. Rules at night. Pubs, aka a Japanese-style pub, is a must-mention. When talking about Japan's nightlife, Izakaya vary widely in price and quality. Some offer cheap drinks and light snacks, while others serve high-end food and have beautiful interiors, including private room. However, most transactions are still done in cash. Some izakayas at night do not accept card payments, so you might find yourself in a tough situation if you don't carry enough cash. It's best to bring a little extra for a hassle-free evening. A distinctive feature of Japanese izakayas is the small appetizer known as otoshi. Many tourists mistakenly believe otoshi is complimentary, but it is charged and usually costs around 300 to 500 yen per guest. This is also referred to as a seat charge. Additionally, most izakayas in Japan are quite small and can only accommodate 10 to 15 customers at a time. Therefore, try not to linger too long and avoid staying for more than 2 hours, especially on busy days. Don't be shocked if you're asked to leave to make room for new customers. Number 9. Unfriendly to Guku. Jingin is a Japanese term for foreigners, referring to anyone who is not Japanese. Some night entertainment venues in Japan do not accept guchin, possibly because the bartender cannot speak English and doesn't want the trouble of serving customers incorrectly. You can easily identify bars that are unfriendly to foreigners by the signs outside, usually written in English with clear messages like Japanese, only, or no foreigners. This helps tourists avoid the awkwardness of entering and being unexpectedly turned away in the famous Golden Gate area of Shinjuku, where many small bars are clustered together. You will come across some of these establishments. However, don't assume all bars in Japan close their doors to foreigners. In reality, the number of Japanese-only bars makes up a small portion of the hundreds of bars in Tokyo. Number 8. Racial discrimination in Japanese. There is a term for biracial individuals, ha-ho, derived from the English word half, meaning half-blooded, referring to those with one Japanese parent and one foreign parent. The term has been in use since the 1970s and has become a common part of the language when discussing mixed-race people in Japan. However, behind the seemingly trendy name lies an uncomfortable reality. Looking at Japanese society, it's evident that how hafu individuals are treated is not only dependent on their foreign blood, but also deeply tied to issues of skin color, according to a study by psychologist Kazuo Mori from Matsumoto University. Japanese people tend to favor foreigners with white skin, while they are more hesitant and distant toward those with darker skin tones such as yellow or black. A prime example of this prejudice is the case of Naomi Oka, a world-famous tennis player. She has a Japanese mother and a Haitian father, making her a Hao with both Japanese and African heritage. Naomi has achieved remarkable success on the international tennis stage. She won the Australian Open in 2019 and became the first Asian player to be ranked number 1 in the world. However, that success hasn't shielded Naomi from facing racial discrimination in her homeland when she wins. Naomi, is celebrated as a national pride of Japan, but whenever she loses, harsh words, criticism, and even online attacks follow her. She is not considered a true Japanese when she fails, and constantly faces prejudice due to her skin color and background. This is not something that Japanese people openly express, but it exists quietly as part of society's subconscious mindset. Number 7. Love hotels everywhere. Anyone in Japan knows about love hotels, a unique and distinct part of Japanese culture. These hotels are not just places where couples rent rooms for a few hours to enjoy private time, but they are also creative havens, with countless themes that cater to all sorts of imaginations. You might think there's nothing extraordinary about a hotel, but imagine walking into a room with a grassland theme where the bed is decorated like a green meadow and a starry sky twinkles on the ceiling. Or step into a magical room where you feel like you're in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, with dim lighting, old candelabras, and eerie statues around you. That's not all. If you're up for a space adventure, these hotels even have spaceship-themed rooms decked out with blue neon lights and futuristic decor. You'll feel like you're on a spacecraft. Amidst the stars, prefer something more classic. Opt for a room designed like an old Japanese temple, complete with a Hanoi wooden bath, soft lighting, and the soothing scent of incense. Each love hotel aims to offer guests a unique experience far beyond just providing privacy. Some rooms are designed like fairy tale castles where you can play the roles of prince and princess. There are even prison-themed rooms for a bit of thrill, featuring handcuffs and iron cages to add a sense of adventure. What's more, you can book a room by the hour or stay overnight with prices varying to suit all budgets. Aside from their quirky designs, love hotels are equipped with a full range of amenities from karaoke machines and gaming consoles to spacious. Number 1. Sports sumo is an essential part of Japanese culture. Sumo matches are typically held from the afternoon until evening, especially during major tournaments in cities like Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, and Fukuoka. On tournament days, the atmosphere in the arenas is lively, with thousands of spectators gathering to witness the exciting battles between sumo wrestlers. The sumo match may last only a short time, but the preparation rituals and tradition behind it make it a remarkable experience for both local and international spectators. Each time a sumo wrestler steps into the ring, they carry the spirit of centuries of history. The sound of drums, the cheering of the crowd, and the intense energy create an electrifying atmosphere when discussing nighttime sports in Japan. Baseball cannot be overlooked. It's a sport that the Japanese are extremely passionate about, with impressive stadiums and strong teams. Baseball has become an integral part of Japanese life. Baseball games often take place in the evening, especially during the spring and summer, drawing the attention of millions of fans, both in person and via television. Besides baseball, soccer is also a beloved sport in Japan, particularly with the country's strong professional football league. The J-League soccer matches are typically held in the evening, always attracting enthusiastic participation from fans. The sight of packed stadiums, continuous cheering, and flag waving under stadium lights has become a familiar part of Japanese sports culture. Hopefully this video has provided you with interesting information and helped you gain more insight into Japan's unique culture. Don't forget to like the video. If you enjoyed it, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel to ensure you don't miss any exciting videos about Japan and other places around the world. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next journey of discoveries.